Man, do we have a show tonight. This is the Unmasked Aftershow with Andy. I appreciate you guys tuning in. L7X's, Enclosures. I think I know a few guys. But hey, without further ado, let's kick off the intro so everyone can get their seats, their favorite beverage, and I will see you guys in 3 minutes. Oh, and by the way, there's a $1,500 giveaway!
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
Tonight between Stuart and Sean Wirtz. They won. Would you just look at it? Kicking it, kicker. You know the thing. You just gotta look at it. That's the only thing you can do. Appreciate you guys tuning in. It is Tuesday. Man, that was a good show. What do you guys think? Even with Rob on the end, a $1,500 kicker system again. So guys, enter the giveaway. It's a long-term giveaway until December 19th. I will actually drop the link ahead of time just so that my guys know and everyone else gets, more chances to get into the rig contest. You know how it goes with Kicker and Living Loud with Andy. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And man, I feel like they answered a lot of your guys' questions tonight, man. Just the simple fact of throwing up the comments, getting to your guys' questions live like we do all the time and what they were known for. I love when they do that stuff. Awesome show. Kudos to Aaron and Jacob, Ernie, and the gang. Can't forget about J-Dub and the rest. Appreciate you guys tuning in on the Unmasked Aftershow. Appreciate you guys. Let's see who we got here. Gonna go through the comments. Of course, we got Cornut spitting rhymes like Deviant, Stu Evening. Thank you for tuning in, Stu. Appreciate that you're here. And we are actually live on TikTok, so please let me know how the internet looks on the YouTube side. I cut it down on TikTok just to see how this works and just to get it more out there. Appreciate you guys. Jay Shipes, thank you for hanging out. Garrick, what is up? Thank you for tuning in. Man, you guys are awesome. Simon, Staley, what is going on? Appreciate you tuning in. And Adir, appreciate you as well, man. Garrick says, glad to be back. I've been in the hospital with 4 8mm kidney stones, feeling like a new man. Now, is that both ways of excursion on the 8mm there, or is that just one way? Either way, does not sound like a good time. Hope you feel better, Garrick. That is never fun. And Bubba starting the party off early with memberships, 20 of them.
I don't care what you say about kickers. This guy is a difference maker.
Thank you, Bubba. Man, we were up to 350. We dropped to 311. But, you know, the memberships are awesome because it's kicking it out to new people each time to say, hey, check out Living Loud with Andy's behind-the-scene content and just be part of the green team as we know it. Yes, we're sticking with that. I know, black and yellow, 412, kicker, Steelers, the whole 9. But the green team, as you can see, man. Thank you, Bubba. Appreciate you. Way to kick off the night. Yeah, where is 25? I don't know where 25 is tonight. He's probably out there with his umbrella just waiting to call for rain. You know how it goes. Speak of the devil. There he is. My subs go 18mm. One way or two ways? Thanks for tuning in, 25. And yes, green team for the win. Appreciate you guys. Man, Baba OG, man. OG. He is one of the major cogs in this giant machine. Blake B, always need more than 10mm stew. Thank you for tuning in, Blake. What is it? It's not how far your subwoofer goes, it's how it goes or something like that. I don't know the exact phrase. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight, man. You know, L7X enclosures, man. I was gifted early from the SDK enclosures. You know, the guy named Jake, he likes to throw pennies, works with CJ, awesome guys right there, and didn't have to build my own, and he did all kinds of work for me behind the scenes, figuring out the perfect enclosure on top of what Kicker already recommended, but through fancy software to get the most out of it. And man, I am very impressed with it, to say the least. And yeah, enclosures will make or break your system, so always think about that when you're buying any kind of subwoofer system. Man, what enclosure am I going to run? Because that is what makes the bass. Yeah, the woofer's got to move, but everything has to work accordingly, and it makes an acoustical spring. Makes pressure inside of there, man. It really does. And that really makes a difference between your sound. It does. Thank you for tuning in, Budget J. A lot of upcoming deals. Will Kicker have any? Actually, not Kicker themselves. I don't see them. I don't think I've ever seen them go on sale, kicker.com, but through their third-party sellers, all their dealers, absolutely. I know if you go check out Crutchfield right now, I actually have a link in my website. Yeah, I got one of those. Crutchfield, just where you buy all the Kicker products from me, and it helps out the channel, helps out me. Like 5% or something. I don't know. It's something. Plus, you guys get 25% off everything, almost everything Kicker at Crutchfield.com. So go check it out. They're the ones I like pushing, and I know Showtime is doing the same deal with Kicker. If you go to a Kicker authorized dealer, a lot of them are doing 25% off, which is higher than normal. Usually I send people to go to Crutchfield regardless, because a lot of times it's 15% off. So you get an extra 10% on top of that, as you normally would with their normal deals, which is awesome. Black Friday is always great. Another reason to spend more money, right? That's the name of the game, man. It's like, man, I'm really trying to lower my credit here because I got a YouTube credit card. You need it. And it's like, man, but I need to buy more stuff. And, you know, it's just, yeah, treading water. But that's what we are here to do, and you guys supporting the channel just goes right back into it, and here we are. Appreciate you, Budget J. Those are the deals for Kicker that I know of right now. We got 44 of you guys in here all together. We got 35 on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. And it looks like we got some pennies from Jake. Appreciate the shout out, Andy. Also, hit the like. Thank you, man. Where are my pennies? I keep moving them. Too many other things. Thank you, Jake. And yeah, I'm giving you another shout out. SDK Enclosures, go on Facebook, hit him up. He will get you an awesome enclosure for your L7X and a few other things along those lines. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate that you are here tonight. And thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Anson Adams, thank you, Baba. Yes, it was an awesome system you got there, man, with the comp bars. The last $1,500 Kicker giveaway, they're doing another one with Mr. Hi-Fi Vega, my buddy, which is awesome. So, yes, it's killer, man. I'm like, no way. No way. No way. Stuart, this guy just won on the Unmasked show. He just won. He wants to win the $1,500 Kicker system, which is awesome that they do, man. They don't need to do that stuff. They do it because they appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Can't see the SDK cap blocked by the Unmasked mug. Well, on that shot, you can't see it, but you can see it on this shot nice and clear. I love it. But I had to, man. I'm like, you know how I got to change these props once in a while. There we go. That works. That works. Thank you, Baba. Appreciate you, man. You know, I need you guys. It's for the little things, too. Really. Warhorse for the win. You know, man, I can't wait to get a Warhorse, or maybe two. You know, just for the simple fact, it's the newest big amplifier they got. I was a little late to get to the KXAs, you know, 2019, I think it was. And, man, whew, that is an amplifier, let me tell you. So something that is even more designed in a way for this SPL guy. Man, I can't wait to get it in my hands and just check it out, just to look at it. Big time. Yes, Sean Z, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, there's always a deal there, 25. There's always a deal. I am not affiliated, though. But you know what? We are all here doing the same thing. Car audio, bass, what have you. The whole nine, you know, so it is what it is. 25, there he is. He's calling for it. He's calling for it.
Make it rain.
Hit it, Michael!
Holy moly! Thank you, 25. Appreciate you, man. And Budget J is gonna get an enclosure soon from Jake. That is awesome. Perfect way to go, man. I'm telling you. Perfect way to go. Hi-Fi Vega says probably says go big or go home. You know, with a $1,500 budget to get everything, that's really what any system just getting into it's going to cost. It's going to cost a lot up front, but you get everything: the power kit, the door speakers, the amplifiers, the subwoofers, the complete deal. And that is the point, man. And they're setting you guys up for success. They really are. They really are. Thank you for tuning in, Bobby J. Shipes. Thank you, man. Fellow bass heads, and cheers. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. Thank you for the pennies, the super chat. And that's what we are, man. That's really what we are. That's why you guys are here. Appreciate you so much, Jay. Face Kicker, Big Who. Thank you for tuning in. I know you missed the show last time. You were tuning in like when we were doing the outro, which is fine. I would keep it going, but there's guys fighting over the caboose. We got to give it to them. Appreciate that you are here now, man. Jones Subwoofer Solutions, go check him out. Cool. Let's see. Put 2 Warhorses per L7X. Man, I think one would be plenty, especially being that I have the dual one and run it at half ohm. Oh yeah, we're going to try it. We're going to try it. And yeah, I should be able to get that 50 in Kayla's car. I mean, a 48.4 on 2,500 watts. If we almost double it, the math works out, but the math never works out in real life. We should probably just slim by get that 50 in that same box. I'm hoping. We'll see. Yeah, you heard it right. Half ohm. You know, and it's just, there's going to be other guys out there that are going to test this stuff. Not even test it, but just do it. I'm going to run it half ohm. And why not have the guy that, you know, hey, hi, I do kicker all the time. Let me test it too. But you know what? They already do plenty of testing ahead of me. And that's what's great about those amplifiers that you get from Kicker. They are dummy proof. They're not bulletproof. I said dummy proof, not bulletproof. They will blow eventually. Let me tell you. They will. You really got to try it though. You really got to kick them in the beans. Paul Peters. I wonder who the heck that is. You know, and that's funny. That is funny. Let's see. Scrolling down. 25. Live from the Burkett Zoo. Anson says, and if what you want is out of stock, they may just upgrade you a little. I missed the conversation there. Jason Ward, I enjoyed the live but can't comment. Yeah, Kicker Club's a little weird. It's StreamYard in any group. Doesn't matter public or not. But it's out there just so you can join on YouTube. YouTube is where it's at. And we are on TikTok here too. And yeah, no one's watching. That's the thing with TikTok and desktop live streams. Yeah, it just doesn't work that great. It just doesn't. But either way, YouTube is where you go. And Facebook and TikTok are just out there just to push out the information as much as I can to get more people to tune into YouTube, man. Appreciate you guys. Sean says, I need that Kicker living loud sign above your head. Man, you know, I had that for a while. And it was in my fish room. And I'm like slowly pulling the few Kicker things I had in the fish room out of it. And I'm like, you know what? That needs to go in a studio ASAP. Stat. And it works. It's perfect, man. I forget exactly who I got that off of. I forget who, man. Between that and then the old Kicker sign that I got with the light over there, but you can't see it. Man, it's just cool to have the nostalgia stuff, man. It really is. Cornut is calling for some fries.
Ding, 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 ding. Fries are done.
Fries are done per CJ. And, you know, everybody likes a little bit of fries. You know, Oakley, that's the only thing he eats. Bryson, chicken nuggets. Either way, thank you, Cornut. I appreciate you, man. And thank you for always being here and cheering me on in fantasy football. I feel like next year will be even smoother because I want to keep the league going, Living Loud with Andy Fantasy Football League. So far, I am in 9th place out of 12, 16. I don't know how many teams we got. We got a lot on there. Either way, it's just fun to be with the guys and doing that, man. Jeff Wallace, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Shout out to the 14.4 crew. He says salutations from the horse. You know the name. Referring to the giveaway. Right, you know, and that's the thing. Well, I believe with the giveaway, they're going to be doing it with the stuff that they currently have. But how Kicker is, they take care of their dealers, their third-party people first. And pretty much their stuff is the after stock. But they have enough, you know. So there's definitely going to be some choices. And like you said, if they don't have it, they'll just upgrade you. But that's, hey, maybe we're hoping they're out of stock and get some QSs instead of some CSs. You know, hey, it's a win either way, man. Bubba says the next batch of fries are done.
Ding, 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 ding. Fries are done.
LOL, hit the like, y'all. Thank you, Baba. Appreciate you, man. And yes, please hit the like. I don't know how many likes we got on here right now. We only have, we had 16. It went to 21. You guys are fast. That was awesome. Bob was like, listen here. The fries are done. You know, I wouldn't mind that. I actually made a little meme of that with the L7X's in a DeLorean. No lie. whenever they were first released. Yes. Yeah. And, you know, I feel like you would need a flux capacitor to use enough L7Xs to make the DeLorean, 1, travel in time, 2, hover. You know, it makes sense. So enough war horses, you got all the gigawatts you need for your DeLorean, 100%. And yeah, they go right there, right on the back. It'd be perfect, man. You know, depends what you're trying to do, as always. Let's see. You know, it is getting a little cramped in here, not gonna lie. It's not the biggest room in the house, but it used to be Bryson's room, and then we moved him over there. It's tight, but it's just enough, to be honest. And I kind of like it being full. You know, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's not empty space. I know whenever I was first doing this, there was just white walls everywhere, and it's just an old table, and it really wasn't that great looking, you know. But that's the beginning of the stuff, man. And here we are. Here, it's jam packed. It is jam-packed in here. And that's the thing, too. Like, half of it I'm using for testing. The other half I'm using as a giant couch for the casting of whatever subwoofer we got. And then we got this, you know, this part of the studio, which is the main side. You just got to look at it. That's all you can do, Garrick. That's all you can do. Sean, you may be going faster to a local sign company that does laser acrylic. Yes, if you guys want to, you know, like personally talk to Jake or just any of us, that's what we do, which is great for like, okay, we do this after show. We talk about the Kicker show. We do Fridays. We do Kicking Away with Andy. The live show is one platform. And then to bring that further, we have the Discord after party after every live stream of mine, which is nice, just so that you can get a little bit more one-on-one. And yes. That's where we go. The link is in my bio on YouTube here. Get Some says, a shake with them fries.
Ding, 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 ding. Fries are done.
Well,
oh, come on.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it.
Thank you. Get Some. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $5 super chat. A shake with those fries. Man, I missed the Steak and Shake in my area. That place was great. And yeah, they closed, unfortunately, but that's okay. Things move on. They yeah. All right, so let me go a little bit over this. We kind of did a little bit of the housekeeping, a little bit of talking, and things along those lines. Brian Townsend became a member for 1 month. Would you just look at that? Tell me if you think that's dumb. The background noise. Oh man, you know, just messing around here. All right, cool. What I wanted to do was pull up kicker.com and just look at it. That's all we're going to do. We're not going to buy nothing today, you know, like we always say. Now, I know they did touch base a little bit on the show. They were saying about, you know, the 12s and the 10s, the airspace, and that the 12 recommends, you know, 3.5, give or take. I think it's just, yeah, 3, where is it at? Oh, come on, where's it at? There it is, 3. Recommended, come on, 3 cubes or 84.9 liters of airspace. Now, what is so different between this and any other Kicker sub? They don't list minimum and maximum specs, which I kind of wish they did, but I feel like what they're honestly always trying to do is eliminate tolerance issues and just everything, just user error, what have you. So I feel like they're saying, put it in this box, put this size port on it, and you're going to be fine. Because what happens is if you run a minimum recommended airspace, and if you're not using a Kicker app or some kind of, you know, enclosure software designer, that's not, you know, Ultimate Car Audio app is great, but if you don't know how port area and airspace and all that stuff works, it's really not going to help you any. It'll give you an idea of what your box is, but it's not going to tell you how to do it. So what happens is, you know, they do have it in their manuals for like minimum and maximum. I know even with the old Solo X, they had like 3. And like even like sealed, ported small, ported big, and ported SPL. Like, and then they had 5, because then they had the truck. It was like, yes, just use the entire tractor trailer as the enclosure for this 18. It was funny, it was great, and Kip wrote a lot of that stuff in little drawings and stuff, and it was just epic, and you can't repeat the past, and it was just amazing. So I feel like what they're doing now is just saying, hey, use this, it's gonna work, and it does, and that's what people were doing, is going by the Kicker recommended specs. Just because that's it. There you go. No, takes the guessing game out of it. And honestly, the more I do car audio, the less I want to guess, because time is of the essence and time is valuable, especially to me, because I'm doing so many different things. I don't have any other time to spare. And I know you guys don't either. You guys work full-time jobs, taking care of your kids, doing whatever, what have you. And time is valuable. So for the average person that really does want to run an L7X, which is not the average person, but still, there's going to be that guy that says, I want the biggest kicker and I need to build a box for it, because Kicker doesn't make a box for it yet. Man, I got something in my eye again. So you have to go with what they recommend. Now, you can always go with the box designer, and they're going to say, hey, with these parameters, this will work good or this won't work good. And you can try different things and get different outcomes. So it really does all depend on what you're trying to do. Your vehicle you have it in, the power you have it being applied to it. That's not going to work if you got a 400 watt amp. And if you only plan on running a 400 watt amp, which I don't recommend, but maybe you just build it really, really big and it might actually be okay for some windy hair tricks. That's about it. I mean, man, I only got a 400 watt amp on here, but I'm doing a 40 at like 19 hertz. You could probably do it, Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you guys. And I think I've seen, let's see. Yeah, another super chat. And Brian gifted one. Thank you, BT. Appreciate you, man.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it.
Thank you, BT. I appreciate you for gifting that membership to somebody, and that means a lot for that person. I know it does, And not every single person that we gift to is, gonna look at the notification or, go on YouTube or whatnot, or appreciate it for what it is. But you guys, I appreciate you for doing that, for the guys that will appreciate it. And we know that those guys are out there. Appreciate you big time. I've been actually seeing some comments of people that are members that I don't know, and they're actually commenting on there. So it is working. It is working. It's a slow process, just like anything, man. Thank you, Matt G. Good night. I'll call SDK about my center console tomorrow. Would you look at that? Thank you, Matt. And that is awesome.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it.
That's awesome. He's taking care of you, man. And Jake is an awesome friend of mine. What's going on? I need bass. Thank you for tuning in. What's up, buddy? Much love, bro. Appreciate you tuning in, man. I always catch your guys' podcast after mine. I listen to all the podcasts for the most part. Appreciate you tuning in and being here, dude. Doing great. You guys are killing it. Speaking of which, Stewart's always watching too. I always see him popping up there. Are we all here for windy hair tricks? I mean, whenever I first started to get into building my own enclosure, that was kind of the goal. 50 was, yeah, I'll try for it, but I wanted to win, man. I thought it was the coolest thing, for the simple fact, just seeing hair float, man. And I don't know, I think it's more of an eye catcher than, just your license plate flexing, even though it's louder. I love the hair tricks, man. Appreciate you tuning in, Stuart. Big time. Not sure says, I bought that Gately box for the single 12 L7X, and it's worth every penny. It is a beautiful box. If you have to save up for a bit, totally awesome. Man, Bobby Gately, the more I learn about him, every time I see him go on the Kicker show, and he does his own podcast too, Quietly Loud. Everyone does podcasts nowadays. Thing to do. Cool thing to do. And, just seeing his history with Kicker and, literally the dawn of his, because that's what he's known for, is enclosures. Yes, he makes subwoofers now and amplifiers, but he's known for making the plexiglass enclosures, the fancy enclosures. And just learning that he learned a lot of that from the guys and girls at Kicker. It's just, it's amazing. And the tree roots go deep on that. Appreciate you tuning in, not sure. And you know what? I seen you comment on one of my other videos recently, and I'm like, appreciate you, man. Thanks for tuning in. I think you were the guy who was saying I'm clipping on my CX amplifiers, but good content. So thank you. Yes, I'm always clipping, man. Always. Justin, what is up? I can't do hair tricks no matter how much wind I make. You know, it's just compression levitation. And I feel like it has a lot to do with your vehicle. I know you got a pickup truck. Good luck. They're a lot harder for some odd reason. For other reasons and other aspects of SPL, they're easier. And, you know, there's space and just the horn effect. You know all about that stuff, man. I would say, you know, you could try in the hatchback, but even a trunk too, man. I've seen some windy trunks, 2 6.5s doing like a 45 at like 17 hertz. If you build it to do that, it's going to do that. But is it going to be able to do anything else? Depends how well it does that, is going to be how well it can do everything else. And it's just the balancing act, man. It really is. It's all right, Justin. We got you, man. Pinky. Thank you, Matt. Joe Keenan, Magnetized Minds. I like that. We got 48 people here tonight, man. You guys are awesome. We got 39 on YouTube. Man, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. Go check out Kicker. Just do it. I'm looking to buy a D212 L7X. Yes. My suggestion would be Showtime. Go check out Showtime. Give them a call. I don't know if they have any in stock at this second, but give them a call. Tell Remy I sent you. Check them out, man. Thank you for tuning in, Joe. I know it's a little bit harder to get these L7Xs because they are taking care of the brick and mortar, aka physical stores outside your door, not online. And I think there's a lot to that. You know, do I entirely agree with that? I'm not going to say I do. I think it should be online too. But I understand why they're doing it. And maybe one day they'll have it online available ready for you guys. Because I know there are a lot of you guys that want to buy them. But either way, we'll get them in your hands. Trust me, man. I haven't drove my wife's car in a while. And that's what's got the L7X in it. And you know, yeah, it was like today's like topic, but I had to run down to the store last minute before dinner to pick up some pasta sauce. And I'm like, taking your car needs charged, and L7X topic tonight. And, man, you know, I just love the thing. Every time I get into it, I'm like, that's a 12. There's no way that's a 12. You know, it's windy, it's loud, it hurts my ears. You know, that pressure you get over 144 dBs, like that constant push on your eardrums, it feels good. Yeah, it's got all that. And that's all you need, man. And then once you go more than that, that's all up to you. But it was nice to get a little demo in that today, man. It really was. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. I actually see a few of you guys that watch and aren't subscribed, which is cool. You know, that's the point. That's what we do, man. We get the information out there. Facebook user from Kicker Club, that's Chris Suave. Thank you for tuning in. Solo X18, give me now. Man, is there an 18 coming? Yeah, we already know. Steve let it out the bag. Yeah, there's a Solo X18, L7X 18 coming out. I can't wait. When is it going to come out? We don't know. I tried asking for you guys tonight for the 15. We know the 12's been out. The 10 just got released. The 15, we don't know yet. But the Warhorse, they did verify tonight that it will be ready Q1. Now, is that January 1st or March 1st? You know, or March 31st, whatever, March 30, whatever. Anywhere in between that. I would say probably in February. That would be my guess. And to, you know, be in the mean, in the average of it. Just because I kind of know how they do things a little bit. And at least that amp will be readily available for you guys to finally pick up and buy. Now, when is the 15 going to be ready? I would say probably, hopefully before Slamology. I think that would be ideal, just for the simple fact, man, you got the 10, the 12, the 15. They all can handle the same amount of power, RMS-wise. You know, same coil, close to the same motor structure. I mean, it's the same subwoofer, but built differently and accordingly, so it works because it's smaller or bigger compared to the other one. But a 15, it's just naturally going to be louder. It's a bigger woofer. It's moving more air. It's got the most X-Max. I'm excited for that one, big time. Like the 10s, I wanted them in the beginning. I got the 12. I'm like, nah, I don't really need two 10s. It would probably be around the same, maybe a little bit more, but not a big significant gain just for the amount of money I'd be putting in to switch everything up. Now the 15 though, oh, that 15, I could honestly almost put that into my Eclipse, in my Cookie Monster, in my box. It's a little big, but still, like, it's going to be moving a ton of air and creating that acoustical spring to some degree in that box, just because, man, it's got twice the throw of my 18. You're telling me a little bit less cone area isn't going to help that compared to all that throw? I feel like it would work, but it would probably dig a lot lower than the 18 that I have in there now, just because it's a bigger box, you know, just for that type of subwoofer. And, you know, hey, just trying things, man. That's what we do here. We test. Speaking of which, Titan 8 series, it's clicking along, man, and messing with the JYNXTs, building a little, I don't even know what you want, not even building, just putting something together so I can actually use them in Kayla's car, you know, with the Salt MD20 battery, man. It's been batteries, Plananos, just everything, man. It's been insane, and catching up, trying to stay healthy. Oakley was sick the past 3 days. He's starting to feel better. Somehow I didn't even get sick. I don't know how that didn't happen, but here we are, and we are alive and kicking. Jake is throwing, I don't know if he's throwing fries or pennies, but I love my pennies, man. 48 people and 5 likes. Y'all lacking. Hit the like. Jake, you got to refresh. You got to refresh the YouTube. It doesn't update automatically. It's a pain in the butt, let me tell you. But sure. Thank you, Jake. Smash the like. You guys are awesome. I think we got 37 likes so far and 41 of y'all watching. Some of y'all being nebby. Some of y'all are being nebby. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you, man. You guys are awesome. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything crazy else. Okay, cool. That section's good. Drew Landers, what is up, dude? Thank you for tuning in. This guy was actually just over my house earlier today. He switched from his Audio Pipe 2K to a Kicker CX43 2-ohm version, the CX 1800, on his Kicker L7R15. And, well, that amp didn't have a bass knob, and he had a Scar bass knob. We're not going to go there, but it was a Scar bass knob. It wasn't performing as much as he wanted it to. And I said, hey, I got a CX bass knob. Just come pick it up. I don't need it. And hooked it up, and the potentiometer works a lot smoother. A little bit more accurate. Appreciate you tuning in tonight, man. It was nice seeing you. Even though it was definitely raining, like rainology here. Either way, that just seems to happen sometimes, man. Welcome to Pennsylvania. Let's see. Appreciate you tuning in again, man. Remy took care of EXO after that amp debacle. What did I miss? Oh, you talking about Parker? Yes. Yeah, because Parker blew up. Oh, what amplifier was it? Was it M-Mats? Yeah, I think it was M-Mats. Full bridge, cheap, ran at half ohm, blew up. Happens. Maybe if you had a box that, you know, had a little better efficiency, or you didn't play a rebase song that wasn't such a wide range of frequencies, it probably never would have blown up, because we know his voltage is good. So it's just a shame that happens. And, you know, I don't know. You get what you pay for in life. You really, really do. Man, we got 50 guys in here, at least on StreamYard. You guys are awesome. I appreciate y'all tuning in. 43, 42 on YouTube. Man, you guys are kicking it. Kicker style. See, we got Facebook. Chris again. Hair tricks depend on frequency and loading. Easy hair tricks between 25 and 30 hertz, and have to find your best loading. Passenger window down, both down, one door open, have to experiment. And that's the thing, you really do have to experiment. And yes, you know, whenever you put one window down compared to two, it's literally changing the tuning, if there is, which there kind of is, of your cabin of your car. And what happens is you're raising that tuning, and you're enlarging the port area because you know you got 2 of them now, and that throws so many factors out of whack. And you know, then you open the door, you know, and then you start unloading. You're wondering why, and that just has a lot to do with boundary loading and subwoofer loading, and just how the acoustical spring inside your box and your vehicle, everything kind of works together, man. It really does. Appreciate you, Chris. Appreciate you, Chris, for tuning in. You're the big bud. Oh, Tweety bud. Let's see. What else did I miss? Dear Sean. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Stu. I hear the 15 is very soon with the official wink. You know, I've been hearing things too. But, yeah. Yeah, so you think Slamology, like, enough time for somebody to throw it in? Jake. Man, you know, I don't know. I would put a 15 in Kayla's car, but it's really tight with the 12, and Jake will kill me. I wouldn't mind putting it in the Pilot, maybe 2 of them. But I love my quad box, but 2 L7X 15s in a daily? And 2 war horses? 154s. Kayla's gonna kill me. She's gonna kill me. Thank you guys for hanging out this entire time. I love you guys. Mega rain. I think they are. Speaking of which, we got Trap House up in here. This guy's always making it rain. He really is.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it.
Trap. Andy is about his bread and butter. He want to ride mayonnaise and mustard. What cells are in the Titan 8? Man, I thought that was a rap for a second. What cells are in the Titan 8 if you want to do a DIY version? Man, and you know, that's the thing. I know Jake wanted to get me on the exact same cells that are in the Titan 8. But, you know, man, just building a case. I know it's not that hard. But, again, it comes down to time. And, you know, you kind of have to know what you're doing. You know, some prismatic cells need compressed. Some only need cased. You know, mine are swelling. So the battery doesn't swell and blow up. That's the thing. Because what happens is they'll swell. And when they swell, they're supposed to vent. And that's bad either way. But what happens is if they don't vent, they just swell. Bad things can happen, and you know, inside the wires can just short and touch each other, and the whole thing just blows up, catches on fire. But with LTO, it's super duper safe because it's like the safest lithium out there. It's just a weird voltage range compared to lithium iron phosphate, lithium iron polymer, all this other kind of stuff you see out there. What's in your cell phone and your vape batteries or just whatever. A lot of different lithium out there. LTO is pretty much the safest, which is crazy that people don't use it more, but again, it's that weird voltage range. And even whenever you're running a Titan 8 5 series, really the max voltage charge is 14 volts. It's a 2.4 volt cell. So 5 in series, you do the math, and then that's your nominal around 12.4, give or take. And that's low, but it definitely works for what we're trying to do. And a little bit overcharging is going to degrade the cell, but how much damage are you doing compared to, you know, maybe running something else and you're completely draining it out? There's pros and cons to each. And then running a 6 series. What's the pros and cons with that? Getting maybe half the capacity out of that 6 series set compared to 5 series, but then you're not worried about degrading the cells by overcharging them, but then you're getting less capacity out of per cell because you can't charge that high, and when you do, you have to change your alternator, your regulator, everything, and it's a lot of money to get to that point, but is it worth it? Absolutely, everybody does it. So, what is the DIY version? The prismatic LTO cells, the 2.3 to 2.4, give or take if you're looking at the 10 amp hour or the 20 amp hour, and those are 30 C for the 20 amp hour, and that's what's in the reserve, and the 10 amp hour is 75 C, and that's like a max discharge, to be honest, because these cells are like 160 to 180 amp continuous, a little bit more on the power, I believe, but still, you know, with our systems, you're usually not pulling all of that. And that's why I went with 2, because I am pulling 300 plus amps of current. And, you know, that's a lot on any battery. Even if it can handle it, it's going to be continuously cycled over and over. I'm doing more damage to that by if I'm charging at 14.8 when I start my car. And then I start banging, it drops down to 13.4 anyway. And so that's the thing where, you know, buy more batteries and you'll have a system that's a little bit healthier for longer. Just for the simple fact, you're not cycling them as much either. That's the thing. Whenever you have more of them, each one is taking the brunt rather than one over and over and continuously cycling. And those are your cycles. That's your life of your battery. It's really crazy with this stuff, man. I love learning about batteries. I really do. Again, thank you, Trap House. Appreciate you tuning in. Drew Landers, my voltage definitely calmed down now as well. No more 15.7, steady 15s now. You know, volt range can change due to weather and just how the alternators work. They work great in the winter, but your batteries don't. And then vice versa. You know, in the summertime, your alternator's not working as good, but your batteries work a little better compared to how your alt's working in the summer. And, you know, that's why I love fall and spring, man. 70-degree weather, full tilt boogie, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Cornut with $1 super chat, aka 1 membership. Thank you, Cornut.
Because we don't want you to blow it up. So turn the gain down, Andy.
You always got to turn the gain down, especially when you just look at it. Thank you, Cornut. Appreciate you, man. And I felt like that was definitely an Andy rant right there, man. I love batteries. JT, thank you for tuning in, and thank you. I'm going to throw this one up earlier because he threw up a super chat during the Unmasked show on the Living Loud with Andy channel. So again, thank you for the pennies, the super chat, you will. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. And look at this guy. He's throwing pennies anyway. So that's double pennies. We're going to throw some CJ in there.
Ding, 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 ding. Fries are done.
Thank you, JT1970. Thank you for tuning in. And I appreciate all you guys that tune into the Kicker Unmasked show. Those guys do a lot of work to make that show happen. A lot of prep. Like, I do some prep, but these guys, they're eating dinner over it. You know, planning weeks in advance what they're doing. So kudos to them, and thank you guys for supporting them and Kicker. And it's easy to do with these guys because they are awesome. They make it easy. Face Kicker, get it 25, and Blake Baba with another. Come on, Baba. He's really making a
I
rain.
don't care what you say about kickers. This guy is a difference maker.
You just look at that. Gifted 20 members. Thank you, Baba. Man, you know, and I think these memberships are the best thing that we did so far, as in this whole YouTube thing, because it does push out to newer people. And I've been getting a little bit more subscribers recently. I don't know, man. I'm not putting out that much content either, man. I'm really not. Thank you, Baba. I appreciate you. And that's the thing, man. I don't know if this is going to just subscribers or not. Either way, it's pushing traffic out because more people are watching than normally just, you know, they don't. And that's the thing with YouTube. Don't want to get on YouTube, but literally, there's people that I love to watch on YouTube. And if I don't watch every video of theirs, it'll just disappear from my browse section. And I think YouTube needs to fix that a little bit. They're trying to push out other things that I might like. But either way, I don't know. I leave it to them. I leave it to them. We got Face Kicker in on this one. You guys got him. Sweet. They got him with the memberships. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's the thing. When he buys these memberships, it randomly picks subscribers, what have you, and gives them 1 free month of being part of the green team. Appreciate you, Bubba. And you guys are awesome. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? I just got a notification that I got a membership gift. Thank you. Thank you, M. Grace. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm sure you like car audio. Thank you for being here and welcome to the green team. That made my night. Together was awesome, man. So awesome. Yeah, it's bad here in PA, just like Missouri, man. You get all 4 seasons in one day sometimes, man. It's bad. Steven, we say the same thing about the weather in Oklahoma. Is this Steven, the camera guy? If it is, appreciate you tuning in, Steve. And yeah, man, But you guys got either 115 degree weather or like 40, you know, like you guys got a little bit higher range than us in temperature wise. I would take that. I know the hot is hot, but I'll take it. I really will. Appreciate you guys. Man, good question, man. You know, I put up a post. I know it's the Unmasked show, after show, but still, I put up a post before the Unmasked show with the Titan 8 series, and I had a lot of questions with regards of this down for sound LTO 6.0 compared to the Titan 8 for a 5 to 6,000 watt system coupled with a 400 amp alternator and Group 34, looks like XS D3400 up front. Now, okay. Now, whenever they give you ranges on like batteries for like a 5K system or whatever, you know, I look at clamped because RMS, you're never going to see that. So if you're saying you got a 5 to 6K system, is that RMS or clamp? If it's RMS, then yeah, you could probably get away with like a Titan S 5 series power or 6 series power, give or take. It's going to be around the same. So just higher or lower voltage. Now, with the down for sound, I think they put a big number on that too. I think it's a little bit higher than the Titan 8. I'm going to have to look, double check, but I know that that has smaller cells in it, but it's got 2 banks of them compared to the Titan 8. So it's like a trade-off, you know. You got a ton of discharge capability, but this much capacity compared to a little bit more capacity and less discharge, and then the reserve even less discharge and even more capacity. So it's all what you're trying to do, what you're trying to fit. If you can fit 10 of these batteries in the back of your car, then maybe the down for sounds are the best to go if you got enough input current to keep up with that. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of batteries that don't have much capacity. They'll get depleted very quickly. But it's really the end all be all is what is your alternator input power? Because you can have the best batteries, but you're still on a limited time basis for the simple fact, you know, you don't have anything to replenish the power. And that's what the alternator does. 9 chances out of 10, once you see your voltage drop like 1.5 volts, you're past your alternator's amount of power it can do, and you're relying solely on your batteries, and slowly they will be depleted over time. Just no matter what you're doing, if you're clamping the same amount of power. So what I ask you is, you know, what size alternator do you have? Do you have a stock alternator, or is it a high output alternator? Even if it is a high output alternator, say it's a 300 or a 400 for a GM truck or something like that, you're probably only going to get 2 to 3 to 350 out of it unless you're just revving the crap out of it the whole time. We're driving down the highway. I love driving down the highway because you get really good performance out of your alt, your engine stays cool, and your RPMs are spinning. It's great. But then you put your windows down, you got a little bit of cancellation from going 70 miles an hour. There's trade-offs. Again, there's always trade-offs. But will it work? Absolutely, man. Those got a high C discharge. I think 75 C. Put it together. What's that? 150 at 6 amps. I don't know. That's a little bit of current, man. That's of what it can do. And like 700 amps max? I don't know, give or take. But what does that equate to with 5 to 6K system? It really does all depend. With that 400 amp alternator, that's going to be doing most of the work. To be honest with you, that's going to be doing most of the work. That down for sound is just going to be a perfect little buffer in between everything. The D3400 is going to be your reserve. In case you leave your lights on in your car, your battery's not going to die in 5 minutes. How do they compare though? It's just all what you're trying to do. You know, you get what you pay for. If you want a little bit more capacity, go with something that's got a little more capacity because it might have a little bit less discharge and you might need 2 of them. But for that same amount of discharge, you have twice the capacity. And when it comes down to playing long time, like more than like a minute, you want something that has a lot of capacity because yes, it can discharge that super fast, but it's going to run out of capacity very fast too. And that's the thing, give or take. Steven says, I'm in Stillwater at Kicker. Okay, so wait. You work, is this Steve from Kicker? Have you come by for a tour yet? I actually got the tour of my life. I got married at Kicker. Like, believe it or not, yes, we got married there. Beautiful, beautiful place. Couldn't ask for a better place to get married, man. I mean, would you just look at all the, I mean, it was meant to be, man. It was like Cinderella story. Ernie, where art thou? He is on his way home. Chugga chugga, says the caboose. Let's see here. Lee, thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. Hope you've been well. I'm using about 500 amps of current with my 145 amp hour deep cycle battery for stereo and a 700 crank amps lead acid battery for car. I'm using a 200 amp isolator in between the two. Okay, 500 amps of current. So you got a deep cycle lead acid AGM battery for the stereo and a regular cranking battery for up front, and you have an isolator in between. If one's lead acid and one's AGM, then yeah, you can put an isolator for when they're resting. Smart. But with isolators, man, I wouldn't run anything smaller than a 500 just because, you know, I got a little bit bigger systems of at least over 200 amps of inrush current going front to back. But does it work? Absolutely. So what I'm trying to say is maybe you don't even need that isolator. If they're the same chemistry, you probably don't need that. But it's nice to have that just for the simple fact, if you want to run like 6 series LTO, you can do it. They're not going to be charging perfectly in the back, but when you shut your car off, they're not going to equalize. LTO stay here, your lead acid will stay down there, and that's the point of the isolators, to separate it when the car is off. Because that could be a death of a battery. Either way, sounds good. You know, and that's the thing with like amp hours, AGM, crank amps, they all mean different things. Just like farads don't mean the same thing as capacity. If you would try to figure out, you know, how many amp hours are in 500 farads, it's like 0.001 amp hours in 5, like it's nothing. Like it's a different way of measuring because of just how fast they can discharge, and the C rate of capacitors is like 10,000, 20,000 C, you know, because there is no capacity, if not more than that. Like it's retarded. So you really can't compare it, and it's hard to, I did the same thing back in the day, you know, with crank amps, amp hours, and amp hours are amp hours, but what is their C rate? You don't know. It doesn't list that for AGMs, but I'm going to tell you it's probably around 1 C. The least a battery is probably going to do is 1 C, aka be able to discharge the amount of current of its amp hour capacity rating in 1 hour. And that just means, you know, 145 amp hour deep cycle, it should be able to discharge 145 amps. But when they list that 145 amp hour deep cycle battery, that's for 20 hours. That's not in an hour. So then your actual capacity of discharge and amp hours for 1 hour is usually less. I love batteries, man. I love learning about them. I appreciate you, Lee. Tune in. Appreciate you guys, man. I sound like a broken record. Okay, you're that's Steve. You're the camera guy. just here enjoying Andy doing all the work while I relax. You know, I need a camera guy. I really do. I need Ernie switching the lights and you just standing there pointing at. I appreciate that you're here, man. I do enjoy it. I will say that. I do enjoy it. I wouldn't be doing this. Let's see. Face kicker, what's up? I love how this just went to batteries, but you know what? To power your system with your enclosure, you need batteries. In my opinion, if charging 12 volts for most guys, adding something like a JY-NXT or multiples to a good AGM is a good path. Right. And that's really what I think of these power series and the JY-NXTs. Man, they go hand in hand. Now, the JY-NXTs are even better in that aspect of mixing with anything because, I mean, the Titans do too, to a point, but they have just such a wide voltage range of like 8.8 volts to 16.8. Like you are not hurting this battery. And even their new Salt MDs, like you can run them down to 0 volts with like barely any cell degradation, like it doesn't die, which is crazy. But anywho, Yeah, man, you know, that's what they're kind of made for. They are the nowadays capacitor. You know, like instead of getting the one Farad from Rockford, you get the JYNXT, and that's going to boost your system. And, you know, you can add a bunch of those. I'm going to run 2 of those with the Salt MD20 JY in Kayla's car on the Kicker KX2400, man. You know, and I think it'll be just enough on her stock alt with the Group 31 up front. Right now, she's just got 2 Group 31s and the MD. Taking that one Group 31 out. It's on its last leg, man. It's sitting at like 12.5. I don't want to hurt my other AGM up front. It's a good XS3100, man. I got that thing, God, 6 years ago, and I bought it used. And it's still going. We got a $10 super chat, and it's Tuesday, and I forgot to move this thing. I always forget to move. Oh, where'd it go? It's Tuesday. Where's Tuesday? Tuesday. Oh, come on. I move these things around all the time, and then I try to put them back. Did I delete it? No. Where is Tuesday? Oh, there it is.
This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
Now we're good. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Colorblind, for the $10 super chat. Sorry I'm late. Appreciate you tuning in and supporting the channel. And I love the little cat, man. I'm definitely a cat guy. Appreciate you, and thank you so much, man. All right, Lee's on a stock alternator of 100 amps. Right. You know, and AGMs are tough. But I'm going to tell you this. Just like Drew that came in today earlier that picked up the BassKnob, he's got AGM up front, AGM in the back, but a high output alternator from Brand X. And it works. He's charging high, you know, whatever. Is that good or bad on the battery? It works. So what I'm trying to say is just with like the stock alts and the lead acids, they're tried and true. They work. The high output will help too. But what lead acid, wet cell batteries, or AGM, they're more so, even if they're deep cycle, they are strong really down low. You know, if you have more of a starting battery, it's going to be even stronger at a lower voltage because it is built in a way for whenever you are starting your car, you're pulling a ton of current, it's going to be able to be like a brick wall at like 8.5 or 10 volts, because you really shouldn't drop to 8.5 starting your car. It should be like 10, 11 volts. But still, they are meant to be strong down there, not at 14.5 where you're charging at. And that's how a lot of batteries are. They have strength in certain places, or it's a straighter curve with like lithium cells. But there's way more to it than just that. I know that much. But to be honest with you guys, AGMs work, but they're not going to give you the best voltage. And then you're going to have a high output alternator to stay above that. And then as soon as you go past what that alternator can do, you're going to drop right down below, at least below 13. And that's fine. It totally works. And that's why you see so many guys running high voltage setups, 6 series LTO or C-Max 4 series, or, you know, even 4 series headways is kind of high, but not really. That's 3.2 volts per cell, give or take, you know, but the C-Max are 3.7, you know, like nickel, magnesium, whatever. And they are the same operating voltage range as like a vape battery, which is 3.7, which is very high and weird to configure with 12 volt systems. And that's why you see them at 16.2. Man, batteries are fun, man. And, you know, it's cool learning all this stuff. And I am happy to help you guys out with this. And same thing with enclosures, man. You know, I know enough to build my enclosure. I built Cookie Monster. I built like probably 20 different enclosures, like by hand. Designing probably more, like 50. But, you know, that's another thing too. I don't got the time to do that because there's a lot that goes into it, and I don't have all the fancy equipment or the experience. And that's why you go to the box designers and get you a beautiful box done for you. Man, we rolled over that hour mark and I'm not even paying attention. I have an AGM, but yes, taking care of a battery extends its life. And that's a thing too, man. If you guys missed the show I did with Remy, we talked a lot about, you know, extending the life of your battery. Should you charge it all winter or let it sit? Honestly, should let it charge. You should just let it sit rather than continuously charge and then go down, and then charge and then go down. You're taking percentages away every time it charges up of one cycle, and you do that all year, you're losing a couple cycles rather than just letting it drop down just a little bit and then charging at one time. There's your cycle. You know, obviously there's a point of no return. You don't want to have your voltage drop too low. You're going to do damage to the cell. Cool, man. I feel like this was an awesome show. Colorblind, anyone catch Andy's 150 watt kicker torture test? Really impressive. Thank you, man. I was impressed too, to be honest with you. Man, you know, I knew that sub was underrated and just like a heck of a driver for, you know, entry level. But 150 watts for over 20 minutes, and then we just started cranking it up higher. 20 hertz, just, you know, it was helping it cool down a little bit, but it was still operating perfectly fine, and they do not rate it like that. They don't. You're supposed to put 150 RMS to it, not clamping 150 watts. You're just not. I was impressed. Thank you, Colorblind. I appreciate you, man. See you, a dear. Catching y'all later. Starting to get tired. I know it's late, and this is the late show. It's actually later than the late show on Friday. Cornut says from Roger. Thank you, Cornut, for the pennies. I mean, Roger. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Roger. Man, you guys are awesome. Literally 41 of you guys still here on YouTube, 46 altogether. So that means a few of you guys. Yeah, we got 2 on Kicker Club. Steve Adams, John Piter, thank you for tuning in. Ram, what is going on? Man, you guys are awesome. John, Stacy, Adam was watching. Bo Stokes, appreciate you guys. Love you, man. I love doing this stuff. And tonight's show on the Unmasked was just amazing. You know, they always kick out of the park, but tonight was cool. You know, I love when they answer your guys' questions, so that's less questions I got to answer. No, I'm just kidding. But for real, though, to get questions answered from them is the best you're going to get. And they're going to release this stuff between them and Kicker, a.k.a. Bill Frog, or Kicker.com, or Kicker Facebook. I feel like they release a lot more on Kicker Facebook than anywhere. So go Kicker on Facebook, smash the like, and I know all you guys already did. So, but just letting you know. And Bobby B, come on, Bobby B.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
You know what? I'm going to have to start charging you for that, Bobby. No, I'm just kidding. I love you so much, and thank you for always being here and tuning in. Let's see. Lee, it's hard to find a high current alternator for my car. It's a 3.6 V6 LLT CD engine. Is that Kia? I think Camaros have them in the USA. I don't know, man. You know, if you want to go check out alternators, give either Ohio Gen a call or MechMen, even Brand X, give them a call. They can make any kind of alternator. They can make it out of your old harness, pull out the guts, put new stuff in, and make you something custom, man. They can do it. All right. Stuart can't wait to get his Kicker swag from Kicker, man. You know, that is awesome. They do that. I forget, you got second place? Yeah, I think you got second place. Congratulations, man. You're going to like those EB 400s and the Kicker. You guys get this Kicker t-shirt. That's why I'm wearing this every Tuesday. Well, at least probably for the Unmasked Aftershow now. Kicking with Andy, I'll probably switch it up either way. But yeah, you're going to love that stuff. All right, yeah, you guys are starting to fall off just by like 1 or 2, and you guys have already made it a whole hour and 10 minutes. I love you guys. This was the Unmasked After Show with Andy, and man, again, kudos to the guys just doing Kicker, Unmasked Show, Ernie and all of them. You guys are awesome, and thank you, Steve, for making it all happen for this community. We love you, Steve, and the guys. Thank you so much for watching Living Loud with Andy, Unmasked After Show. And as always, I'll see you on the next one, and stay living loud. Catch you at the caboose!
Okay. So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means.
mention Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'll see you on Black Friday, huh? Stuff your faces. Turn up the basses. See you at the caboose. Love you guys.
Living life with Andy.
Choo choo! All aboard! Thank you, Colorblind. I appreciate you, man. This guy was making it rain. Literally making it rain.
Make it rain.
Hit it, Michael!
Thank you, Steven! SDK takes the caboose, Boosie, but no, Cornut comes in and steals it. Love you